Good morning, everybody, and this is your SP 500 day trade setups for today. So a bit of an inside bar, a bit of an up and down day as well on the SP 500. And if you have a look at the oscillators at the moment, they have crossed over, they are separated. This is a strong move up, fairly decent pullback onto structure. And this 42, 43, 42, 42 area, and I might say 44, 42 there has been some interest here pretty much since June. If you see, there was a rejection, there was another rejection there was some support, and as I said yesterday, we haven't really come back to test it properly yet, and I consider that now a test. So touch and go, we are in between the moving averages here. It does look like it's a bit of a pullback onto structure, and if I just do that, remember what I said yesterday as well, you have a 25% probability of a flag break in the opposite direction to actually carry on. Okay, there is also, I get a little bit technical here, but there was a trend line here as well, which we've come back to test. So for me right now, there is a bit of structure just above us, which I would be worried about because we need to clear that. So basically, if you look at the price action, let's just get rid of the diagonals. There's no need for them at the moment. We'll leave that one in because that'll probably offer resistance later. So for this structure, if we look at an 8 hour, and we're going to trade this on the 8 hour, I need to wait for the 8 hour bar to get above 44.61. That is the area we need to pay attention to. And then this is obviously the area to the downside. So this is the signal that we have for a long, but it needs to be above there. Okay, the only thing that is kind of not lining up for us is the moving averages, but they haven't crossed over yet, so it's kind of a weak signal there. We're on the 150 EMA, which is a positive signal, and then we've got this here together with diversions. Okay, so you look there, price is low, price is higher, oscillators are low and then lower. So there is diversions here, that bullish diversions, and there is very much an opportunity that is brewing right now. So typically these things take a while for rounding bottoms to form, but here you see the diversions clearly, and then you see pin bar just missed the structure, and then our second pin bar. So from a 3-hour perspective, that 3-hour bar says we should be long at the moment, but if you look at what's going on here, that is a downward trend. So kind of mixed bag of signals that is happening on the higher time frames. But it's important to understand that these two levels are the key areas to focus on. So let's forget about the price structure for now, and let's just drop down to the rest of the time frames and have a look at what's going on. So from an hour perspective, it is also trend down. We do have structure kind of, but it's not off a level. Okay, so this level here is still in play. So that's 44.42. I want to see a decent bounce off that on the hour before even starting to consider going long. I am not interested in shorts at the moment, even though everything is lining up for short. It's just a structure that is on the 3-hour and the 8-hour is indicating something very different. Okay, so this bar here, this level here at 44.61 is also in my sights at the moment. So we get above that and start building a base, that's going to give me the signal on the lower time frames that we have a potential trend reversal. So when we talk about rounding bottoms, here is one forming. You can see we've got a moving average crossover, and we're just hovering in amongst the moving averages, oscillators all over the place. Very typical of a bottom, but you don't want to be bottom picking. So at the moment, I don't see opportunities for shorts, but I also don't see opportunities for longs. So shorts are only going to come into play once we barrel below 44.42, and I want to see us come back and retest that. And you can probably just add another little level there and it's that swing low there. See this one here, which is at 44.44. We haven't really tested it. We tried to test it with this bar, but we haven't tested it. So this is the zone I would expect us to defend. If we can defend it and we get going, then I'll be looking for the structure on the lower time frames for a move to the upside. But for now, this is sideways right now, and longs are only going to come into play above 44.61. So we need to see a break, we see a pullback, retest, and then start the bounce. That would get us in long, stop just below that structure, and you have a very juicy gap target here to the upside, which is what I would first look for. And don't forget the overhead resistance on the trend line here, because that is kind of the area that I would expect price to come back down and find probably a deeper pullback onto this area here before getting going. So lastly, remember it is the end of the week, so you are going to see some interesting price action for the weekly bars that they try to defend this. So I've seen it before where it just on the Friday it just rockets up, or alternatively just rockets down. So we do have a gap to the downside as well. At the moment, this is also a bearish pattern on the weekly, so let's not lose sight of that at the moment. But for me right now, I don't see any longs. I'm not jumping in long, short here or long here. I want a break of that structure. The structure is clear as day on the higher time frames, so let's pay attention to it. Anyway, that's kind of my view for today. Hope it helps, and if it does, drop us a thumbs up, and we'll catch up with you on Monday morning. Enjoy your weekend.